Lucullus drummed his plump fingers on the desktop. "Confederates catch him, he take a long time to die." "I know. I thought of that," Cincinnatus nodded. "Man's a bastard, but he's a brave bastard. I always figured that." "What the hell he doing here?" Lucullus asked. Cincinnatus could only shrug. Lucullus waved away this motion. "I wasn't asking you. Ain't no reason for you to know. But I ought to have. I got me connections up in the USA. They should have told me he was coming back." "Back in the days when Kentucky belonged to the United States, Bliss cared more about chasing your daddy than about working with him," Cincinnatus said. "Well, that's so. But times is different now. You going to tell me times ain't different now?" Lucullus sent Cincinnatus a challenging stare. Cincinnatus shook his head. "Not me. I ought to know. Still and all, though, Bliss, he works with white folks. He likely come down here for some special nasty trick or another, and he got his people all lined up and ready to go. I don't reckon he wants nobody else to know he's here." "You got to be right about that." Lucullus eyed Cincinnatus again, this time speculatively. "You got to be lucky he don't decide to dispose of you for knowing who he is." "He thought about it," Cincinnatus said. The sun hadn't been the only thing glowing in Luther Bliss's eyes. "He thought hard about it, I reckon. He probably figured no nigger's gonna give him away." "He a damn fool if he think like that. Plenty of niggers sell their mama for a dime." Lucullus held up a hand, pale palm out. "I don't mean you. I know better. You is what you is. But a lot of niggers is just plain scared to death. And the way things is going, to death is just about the size of it." "I ain't going to do nothing to help the Confederates and the Freedom Party," Cincinnatus said. "Nothing. You hear me?" "I done said I don't mean you. I said it and I meant it." "You got to listen when you ain't talking," Lucullus said. "Bliss was at Goldblatt's, was he? He likely ain't staying real far from there then." "Maybe," Cincinnatus said. "Never can tell with him, though. That there man taught the Mississippi to be twisty." "You ain't wrong," Lucullus said. "And I as much obliged to you for passing on what you seen. I should know that sort of thing. Luther Bliss." He whistled mournfully. "Who would have thunk it?" The cook heaved himself to his feet and led Cincinnatus out of the office. At his shouted order, one of the youngsters behind the counter gave Cincinnatus a barbecued beef sandwich so thick he could barely get his mouth around it. He walked back to his father's house, engulfing it like a snake engulfing a frog. But all the barbecue in the world couldn't have taken the taste of Luther Bliss from his mouth.